lineup is based on like this one core being very strong, then it's almost like an auto win. Because the Bat Rider's job is very easy, right? He just always picks up this one guy. No matter how late the game goes, you'll win the team fight as a result of that.
Okay, but isn't that a little bit opposite of what we're seeing here? Team Liquid have 3 different cores that all kind of scale the same. None of them are the hard carry by any means, but all of them are kind of like mid-game-ish carries.
Precisely, and that's why I wanted to bring up Bat Rider. When we were looking at the draft viewers, I was like, ask me about Bat Rider, because I think it's so cool. The counter to that is you don't put all your eggs in one basket. You want to make sure, like, if you don't have that saving support, because those heroes are pretty bad right now, Oracle and Bench. Like, anybody that plays any high-level pubs will tell you, like, those heroes feel so low game effective. And so you can't really pick those heroes. Like, the only other hero that is kind of okay-ish is, like, you can take, like, Disruptor or SD, but you can't really open those heroes, especially if it's a 4th pick bat. And so you're forced into a position where you have to put more of a spread on your cores.
Okay, but so in this case, though, you still like Navi's draft more, despite the fact that you feel like the Bat Rider is a bit countered by the fact that Team Liquid do have 3 equal cores in this regard. So what is it about Navi's draft that you're okay with?
I think it's easier for them to move around and get kills. I feel like Dendi should have a very good game in this game. Like, he can play very mobile, and the amount of catch on the side of Liquid is going to be a little bit limited. So for me, when I'm looking at this draft, it's really contingent on how well Mind Control can do, because he's going to need to be a playmaker.
What is this gank? Liquid, they smoke up at the bounty rune earlier, and we actually have all 3 of them just sitting on top of me. They get the early first blood, and they go ahead and TP into the safe lane. What a clowny. I mean, like, you don't really miss anything. I don't think Miracle missed a CS. He got it.
The funniest part was, like, okay, the reason why I think he does that as well is because he knows that the top camp is going to get pulled. So it's like, I don't need to be there.
Yeah, whatever.
It's like, whatever. But the funniest part was, like, I don't think they expected that to be, I mean, if I doubt they thought they were going to get Dendi.
Yeah. If they had the supports to stop a Bat Rider, do you think they wouldn't have made that kind of play, right?
Probably.
It's the fact that they don't have the win reel to stop this pulse, so.
I mean, Gyro's okay, because if you flak hit, or if you rocket barrage, no matter what, you get the hits off on the Bat Rider. But there's not enough of kill potential, I think, to scare him, because he can always Firefly away, and especially on that side of the map, you can just go to the left, and you're unclickable. When you go over that, like, little tree bend, everyone knows what I'm talking about there, right? Using telekinesis here is actually going to be blocked out by the ice shards. Really good placement there from Roger, but unfortunately, he misturned.
We did not land.
I don't think it matters. Like, he probably lives, but it's unfortunate. It wouldn't have mattered. GH
got like really good. Telekinesis pull back. Roger body blocked heavily here from on top of men, making sure. Oh, what a beautiful ice shards! Now GH may still be able to get over the cliff, but he's barely out of range. Well played.
Damn, Roger's.
And this is why we're seeing Snake on the Enchantress and Roger, the top.
Oh my god, that was so. That's like such quick thinking. Oh man, I was like the biggest smile on it. I'm a big fan of that. That was cool. There was like the outplay on that. That was like the 3rd level. First Liquid outplays him by getting the body blocks and all that for nothing. And then he knows that the TP range, the Rubik doesn't have the range for that. Oh, that was cool.
Pretty high level Dota.
Plus he blocked the Viper so he could get the chase. Roger's such a beast. Remember his Kunkka at DreamHack? Like, he solo won Navi the game. Guy's a monster.
Top lane, they're actually trying for it with the Enchantress now. The Witch Doctor does cause some issues for any Enchantress gank with a paralyzing cast. Nice play from Sineko, just denying his own creep, making sure Miracle doesn't get any bounty out of that.
And Navi is one of those teams that like plays the double 4 or something similar to that anyways.
Just 10 double running, but Tubman is not going to be living for long. I like the fact that we did play that pretty far back on the SF, just making sure we weren't going to trade that out. Go 1 for 1. You could definitely see that Tubman wanted to make that trade out.
He knew his life was over at that point. You might as well go for it. But speaking more about Liquid, I think that Gyro's having an okay game. Like, it's harder for him to die as well. Like, decent stats. He already has 10 magic stick charges. I don't know if Navi makes any sort of play up there. And they're still doing a decent job of limiting the amount of CS that Dendi's having. It doesn't matter as much though, because Viper is known as a lane dominator, whereas SF is a hero that flash farms, especially in this meta, very, very quickly.
Yeah, it feels like we actually were talking about SF. We both kind of felt like the hero is incredibly strong, particularly in pubs, but even in pro games we see the strength of the hero just always being able to farm, can go into late game really well, has multiple very versatile builds to be able to employ depending on what the game requires.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a stretch to say that I think Liquid's the better team, but when people said like Liquid's the better team, but I feel like Navi's draft. Navi's draft seems to fulfill like the basics of what's needed in a good draft. They have good lane shove, they have good team fight, they have the ability to scale, they have good playmaking.
I think Seneko, I'm not wrong there, he threw both rock shards, right?
Yeah.
At the same time. That doubling up may have actually cost him the kill.
Mid again. They're going to get GH.
Well. He's going to die as well.
Yeah. He's trying to give it to Navi.
Yeah.
Nice. They won the duel lane. It's like I said though, it's hard to kill Miracle. Like, he's got a bunch of stick charges. You're not going to commit to it. He's just going to get rocket off and run away anyway.
Yeah, he's actually going no levels fly cannon here and just all in on that laning phase presence of the rocket barrage as well as the missiles.
4 stones.
4 stones being thrown down.
Wait, what was the like? I mean, cast the first stone. He who would without sin cast the first stone. Well, he cast a lot of those.
He's an absolute flawless player apparently.
Is there any stacks in Ancients for Liquid?
None for Navi. Liquid. None.
Okay.
I mean, the supports have been too busy, it seems like, with this double roaming pressure coming out from Navi, combined with the fact that they have very strong laners between the Batrider, Razor, and the SF. This is just seeming like a struggle for Liquid to keep up in the laning phase.
I think it's difficult because normally when you have this dual lane mid, especially when you're on dire side, it's very easy to stack the Ancients, and you have a bunch of heroes that can clear them. The Gyrocopter can do it, the DK can do it.
Viper
so
is actually not terrible at doing it either.
Yeah, I mean, you just get your passive, or not your passive, the new Nether Toxin, yeah. But the fact that they weren't able to stack at all is a little bit concerning for me.
They're gonna get an easy kill here on the Enchantress, and they do have the missile onto General as well, so they can still pursue with the Maledict. They can get some decent damage on him, but certainly not enough to really threaten him.
Just getting a little bit low.
Yeah, maybe. GH just keeps on laying onto him, and it looks like that Fate Bolt was going to be enough. At the same time, though, they killed Matumba Man again. I know Matumba Man, sacrificial core and all that. We talked a lot about that for Team Liquid winning TI. That was a big part of their playstyle, but it feels like, especially on a Viper, you can't be sacrificed this much, right?
Dude, I'm looking right now at a level 7 Razor versus a level 4 DK. It's rough out there. Alright, how do you live here, Roger?
Alright, he snowballs onto GH, trying to get a little bit farther away from Matumba Man. He does have the backup of Seneko, actually blocking GH in long enough for Dendy to be able to come up and clean up that kill. Not only does he live, managed to get a kill on Liquid.
It's really rough. And they can leave this one-on-one. Like, Crystallis can't die in this. He's got 1,000 HP. Even if both supports rotate in, I don't think they can get the kill on him. And they realize that, so they're playing very greedy on the opposite sides of the map. They're putting a lot of pressure on the safe lane. They're putting a lot of pressure on mid because they know that this is a dead hero for them. Like, this is a hero that doesn't require help, and on top of that, he can't die. So it's an ideal situation for them. Whereas this Gyrocopter needs help.
You've routinely told me that in this patch, if you lose all 3 lanes, it's like all but guaranteed that you pretty much lose the game here. How does Liquid come back in this? Particularly since it's not like their lineup's greedy in the fact that they have 3 different cores that all need to scale, but it's not like they have a hard carry, right?
I mean, I think Gyro is going to be a beast in this game. Okay. They just don't have a save for him, and the more that the other 2 lanes get slowed down, it kind of just hurts your overall game flow, right?
Top of man, beautiful body blocking here from Roger, plus the ensnare coming out from the Enchantress. Still not going to be enough, though, as the Matumba Man is going to be able to live through that barely. Dendy's actually going to have the paralyzing cast bounce back to him, and Miracle closing the distance there. They even got the extra poison out from Matumba Man, make sure to slow him down. Double kill from Miracle. What a good rotation. They needed something like that because this laning phase was not going so hot for Liquid. They needed something to offset all of that.
That's so unlucky. Did you see that? Like, if the cast goes to the left and he's like half a pixel away, then SF doesn't die there.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say, believe it or not, that I think Liquid does this weird thing where when they know they're behind, they just 5-man.
Yeah.
Because that's their bread and butter, right? They just out-team fight other teams. That's kind of what they know. When you think of Liquid and you think of these like crazy comebacks, the reason why it'll...
Get the shards! Oh, good try.
That was cute, but...
Oh, get ancient denied.
Okay, that would have been Roger. But the way that they make these comebacks often, like when you historically think about them, it's because they're willing to 5-man before a lot of other teams, right?
Yeah, even when they were running like like here in this game, they already have such big team fight heroes that they would have even more incentive to 5-man, but they would do that kind of 5-man with like heroes like Lone Druid at 10 minutes in, and you're just like, that hero's not supposed to do that, but they would do it anyway.
Yeah, that's oftentimes the way back in is...
this is all looking so good, but Telekinesis top back really slowed down that damage on a Matamba Man. And it looks like he had a lot of charges.
Look at that cast keep goes over.
Oh, and Deja Vu. Apparently we're going to have another snowball into the mid lane, but this one looks a little bit better for Navi. They shouldn't have any troubles just being able to kill Kuro, as they've already killed Matamba Man, and there's no rotations coming out from Liquid. So Navi back in the mid lane.
Do we get a replay of that one? Can we just keep going back?
Just keep going replay. And then fresh snowballs.
Eventually we'll catch up. This bottom tower that's going to get taken.
General's hoping to be able to snag the Dragon Knight. But at the same time, they've left mid. Miracle knows that. This whole entire behind them, they're going to have the opportunity to get that call down now. Did he take a lot of magic damage already? He's extremely slowed down. Does have the Maledicte on him, so he should end up dying here. Kill ends up going to Kuro.
Now there's 5 heroes mid for Liquid again.
Yeah, they brought Mind Control, who still had his dragon form, so despite being denied that safe lane tower, he's going to get an even more important one, mid-tier 1.
Yeah, that's massive. And Navi, I mean, they over-rotated and kind of thought themselves there, but this is often how Liquid comes back into these games, is like these improbable 5-mans where you just don't expect it. They do it a lot faster than some teams. And it just kind of keeps you off your pace. Because Navi, the thing about them and what keeps them like consistent is they're a pace-setting team. Yeah, Matamba gonna die.
Beautiful setup once again, man. The patience there, just holding on to the invis, knowing he was going to get into some sort of clutch scenario.
They're still getting kills though on the other side, and this Gyrocopter is getting really farmed. Like if it wasn't for that, he's 6-0-2 right now. If it wasn't for that, like Navi would be winning this game. But they're just like consistently committing him to fights, and Miracle's reading the situation. Okay, so this is the mid time that he died. If he dies again, like while we were in the replay, he's so sad.
Is there something besides the over rotation? Is there something else that Navi is doing wrong? Because they should have had a bit of an advantage from their laning phase win. Are they just not? Is it they just not reading the fact that Liquid is going to 5-man?
Liquid's going to use 5-mans.
Did he actually just push himself a little bit farther with the Ice Shards?
Yeah, even that one.